Hey, if you've purchased or are thinking of purchasing the Icarus P365 frame for your P365, we're going to show you which lights fit for this right now. This is the Icarus frame, which is really a grip module because the serial numbered parts inside. That grip module can replace your standard Sig grip module, which Sig provided that proprietary rail, and you can only get really two decent lights that fit that. The Surefire XSC and the Streamlight TLR-7 Sub for P365. So if you want to expand your light selection and have a better selection of professional lights, you can do that by swapping out your grip module with this Icarus grip module. This module is also interesting in that, first of all, it's aluminum. You may or may not be able to see that here in the video, but it is aluminum, and you can see that it comes available with a gas pedal of sorts. So the idea of this gas pedal is that you can go ahead and get your grip, build out your grip, and then drop your thumb onto that gas pedal for a better control of recoil. So we've got two versions of the Icarus grip module here. This is the longer one, the Pro size with 3 slots in it. So you can tell because it's got 3 cuts in the slots and a slightly longer rail. Additionally, we've got the slightly shorter version, which has 2 slots. Now, let's see which lights go ahead and fit on these. We've got a representative set of lights here. We've got the subcompacts. We've got the Olights with the adjustable rail. We've got the TLR-7a and a Nightstick equivalent and some full-size lights. Let's hit the Streamlight TLR-7 Sub for 1913. This has got the key number 5 in it. And that fits onto this shorter version like it was made for it. It's really a nice fit. That is a great way to get a good bright pistol light that's going to stay where you put it on the rail. Let's go ahead and check that out on the 3-slot rail with that 5 key. That goes ahead and fits super well as well. Let me go ahead and tighten that up. That fits really well. And we know that the advantage of the TLR-7 Sub with 1913 over the Sig TLR-7 Sub for P365 is that it actually sits, that slot actually sits into that rail slot, and it's not going to move around and it's not going to fall off the front of the pistol like some users have reported on their P365 polymer frame. Next up, let's hit the Surefire XSC. This happens to be the Surefire XSC for Hellcat. And so let's go ahead and try this on the smaller grip module. But that looks like it's going to fit perfectly on this pistol. Now, if you haven't seen our video on the TLR-7 Sub versus the XSC, go ahead and watch that. You'll see which of these lights performs better. That light is on there quite well. Baldr. This is the Baldr Mini, I think. Yep, Baldr Mini. Go ahead and put that on that front slot. Slide the lever over. You can see that the lever actually comes over and it hits a little bit on that gas pedal, but that should be just fine. And of course, the same on the larger grip module. All right, so of course the Baldr S has been out a little bit more recently. Let's go ahead and hit that. It is slightly differently sized than the Baldr Mini. I'll go ahead and I'll flip that over for you. You can see that interference there. The size of this light is fits a little bit better on the longer slide. Now, of course, I know that there are some people running this longer grip module with the shorter slide and then throwing a comp on there. We're going to have to try that a little bit later ourselves. So for the TLR-7a and for the Nightstick TCM550, I think that's the XL, both have the same sort of situation where they do not fit. So see that rail slot? That is too far forward to engage with this shorter version of the grip module. Now, it's a little bit different story with this 3-slot module. It just pops right in. And of course, no interference issues on this one. You can see that the switches end up right at the front of the trigger guard, which is about where we're going to want those. Let's see which key that is. So this is the 1917 key, so it's the 1913-3 from Streamlight. It's also the same one we use on the Sig Sauers, on the P320s and the M17s. All right, so we went ahead and fit up this Nightstick TCM550XL with the C4 rail slot. And that seems to work pretty well. Go ahead and drop that in. Fits on pretty snugly. The switches are right at the front of that trigger guard. And no interference, of course. Let's go ahead and run that. So that's the Nightstick. Now the last category here is a little bit of ridiculousness. So the Baldr, this is, I think, the Baldr Pro. That's rather large. You can see the slot there, and I cannot get that slot into where I need it. It is just a tad bit too far forward, so that does not fit. TLR-1HL with the rearward slot there. I can't get that one to fit quite either. That slot needs to be a little bit further back. X300U. Let's go ahead and push that out. I can't, that slot is not going to fit up. It's also interfering with this forward slot here. Now, this is the ultimate in ridiculousness. I went ahead and I moved, there's 2 key slots in this PL-350. I went ahead and I put that into the rearward slot, and it is angled up, so it's not quite correctly on. But it does actually stay attached. So you can see that light angling up. That is not something I would prefer to run, but it does work. We've got the best fitting lights, really, are the TLR-7 Sub for 1913 and the XSC for Hellcat. Those are the best fitting. The Olights with the adjustable rail will fit. TLR-7a and the Nightstick will both fit the larger grip module. So then your last question is probably going to be, okay, if I've got one of these lights and I went ahead and I fit it up to my pistol, am I going to find a holster for that? And the answer is yes, we've got holsters in the works. We will be releasing this holster shortly. This is for the TLR-7 Sub 1913. Fits that perfectly. It also fits quite well in the larger grip module. You can see it comes up to the end, fits great, feels great, and you've got a good serviceable quality light on your Sig Sauer P365. We also have no light versions that we'll also be releasing. So this is for the pistol without a light at all, inside the waistband. So we've currently got these sitting on the table, right hand inside the waistband. We will also have left hand, and we will also have our outside the waistband M7 options. So if you're looking for a particular light on your Icarus grip module, please let us know in the comments below. Keep an eye on the video description and comments for information about holsters availability.